furlongs, so just beginning to step up in trip with the younger generation now. Number 1 is Night of Sin for Lizzie Kelly, claiming 3. 2, Don Bursey for Aidan Coleman, who's the market leader, looking to give Aidan back-to-back winners. 3 is Final Choice for Gavin Sheehan. 4, Timoteo, Wayne Hutchinson. 5, Templier, amount of Jamie Moore. Number 6 is Dinsdale, Tom Scudamore. 7, Highgrove Percy, Noel Feely. 8 is Buckle Street, who should appreciate the extra distance, Andy Tinkler. 9, Castafiore for Richard Johnson. And 10, Deauville Crystal, Sean Bowen. Number 11 is Dusty Raven, amount of James Best. 2 miles, 3 furlongs. So the starting point's actually at the entrance to the home straight. There are no more flights of hurdles, or no less than the 2.5 mile. 3 up the home straight, 4 down the back, and 3 up the home again. Makes 10 in all. So a little bit more of a stamina test for the youngsters, generally stretching beyond 2 miles for the first time in some cases.
Yes, there was a little bit of 4-1 about Don Bursey when bookmakers
My sporting idol would be Dave Beckham. If I wasn't a jockey, I'd probably be a builder.
Yes, Jamie rides Templier. Is priced at 20-1 in the market, but the market is really speaking in favour of number 2, Don Bursey. 5-2, 9-4, 2-1, of course, joint owned by Sir Peter Gibbings. It's his 88th birthday. If the betting market is correct, this will be a big birthday present. Don Bursey, 2-1 favourite, Sally Ann.
Yeah, down here at the start, we had Night of Sin with Lizzie Kelly. Was very keen going to start. She went straight past the group of horses that were down here waiting and had to circle around down the bottom just to manage to pull him up. And he's been quite on his toes since. Interesting that Castafiore, number 9, wore earplugs down to start and had them taken out. And if you look at the back of the field, you can just see
It's been sent forward now to rise in 4th place. Jumped it better than Night. As I mentioned, this trip, 2 miles, 3 furlongs. The juvenile division normally race around 2 miles, so more of a stamina test, and it will be, with 3 of them disputing the lead. Night of Sin, Dusty Raven, and over the first, Highgrove Percy. In midfield, we have Buckle Street, who's in the noseband on the outside of Don Bursey. A keen hold being taken by Templier, way to the right-hand side in the dark cheek pieces. Castafiore tracks the leaders as well. Just worse than midfield for Final Choice, ahead of Dinsdale. Held up early on include the likes of Timoteo as they rise at the second, and also Deauville Crystal is also towards the rear of the field. So Highgrove Percy, the blue and white colours, and on the right-hand side, Dusty Raven. The grey Night of Sin's half a length away, and Buckle Street's been sent forward now to rise in 4th place. Jumped it better than Night of Sin and is now alongside. Deauville Crystal was a bit slow away from that flight of hurdles at the rear of the field, and his jockey just bumping up and down in the saddle, Sean Bowen, to try and regather a little bit of momentum as he looks for his second winner of the afternoon. So out in front as they pass the stands is Dusty Raven in the maroon colours from Highgrove Percy and Buckle Street, who's going to be 3 wide as they approach the turn. Night of Sin has dropped back to a share of 4th with Templier, then Don Bursey in blue with the red seams, Castafiore towards the inside of Final Choice, then Dinsdale as they turn away with Deauville Crystal, and Timoteo held up at the rear of the field. So making their turn towards the back straight. 4 flights of hurdles there. The first 2 actually come up in pretty quick succession, as out in front it is still Dusty Raven who shows the way. Dusty Raven from Highgrove Percy and Buckle Street, Night of Sin the grey on the tail of the 3 leaders. Templier and Don Bursey the next 2 as they rise at the next obstacle. Midfield continues to be Dinsdale in company with Final Choice, Castafiore. The back 2 remain Timoteo, who's travelled powerfully, and Deauville Crystal, who at times has been pushed along by the rider. Dusty Raven leads Buckle Street, Highgrove Percy as they step over that. Again, they all negotiate it safely, and now a little bit more of a run before they encounter the next down the back. Dusty Raven out in front, continuing to show the way for James Best. Second disputed by Highgrove Percy on the inside and the outside of Buckle Street. Templier comes next. Night of Sin just being pushed along in midfield by Lizzie Kelly as Don Bursey improves on that one's outside. Dinsdale is making progress. Dusty Raven strides over the next. Final Choice was a little slow. Castafiore's completely lost her position at the tail of the field and is now the back marker. Deauville Crystal is travelling a little bit better now. Likewise Timoteo right at the rear of that leading group. Castafiore detached by 6 or 7. Last on the far side, Dinsdale wasn't too good. Dusty Raven, however, has hurdled fluently and will lead the turn out of the back straight. Buckle Street on the outside of Highgrove Percy. Templier still travels well. Don Bursey is in 5th place with the improving Dinsdale. Pushed along, Knight of Sins dropped back to 7th. Pushed along as well, Final Choice on the inside running rail. Timoteo ridden quietly by Wayne Hutchinson. Continues on the inside of Deauville Crystal. And they turn down the side of the racecourse with Castafiore now completely tailed off and I think effectively out of the race. Buckle Street sent forward by Andy Tinkler and now moves alongside the shaken up Dusty Raven. Between the pair, the tough Highgrove Percy, Templier Don Bursey, Deauville Crystal sweeping round the outside of Dinsdale, and also picking the way through the field is Timoteo as Dusty Raven gives way a little tamely. So this leading cluster is still pretty well bunched as Highgrove Percy on the inside of Buckle Street heads towards the third last. Don Bursey coming there strongly, blue with the red seams. Templier comes next from Dinsdale. Dusty Raven on the retreat, Timoteo and Deauville Crystal both improving from the back of the field. Very confident ride so far by Wayne Hutchinson on Timoteo in the green and red colours, has got onto the heels of the leaders. Don Bursey travelling best of the front rank, heads down towards the second last with Buckle Street. Deauville Crystal and Timoteo have come from well back to stake their claims as Don Bursey led over 2 from the finish. Buckle Street is now being ridden. Timoteo didn't find a great deal. Deauville Crystal, by contrast, is finding plenty as they head down towards the last. Out in front it is Don Bursey. Timoteo trying to renew the effort over on the far side. Deauville Crystal on the near side. Off up the run in they go. Don Bursey in the centre. Timoteo and Deauville Crystal throw down their challenges. They came from the back of the field. It's Deauville Crystal who has the lead and is beginning to extend away from Timoteo and Don Bursey, and it's Deauville Crystal. Sean Bowen's had a great afternoon, his second winner, as Deauville Crystal wins for the informed Nigel Hawkyard. Timoteo in second, Don Bursey third, then Dinsdale, Buckle Street. They're finishing well strung out. Highgrove Percy, Templier, Knight of Sin, then Dusty Raven, all the way back to the likes of Final Choice, and last of all was Castafiore. Deauville Crystal and Timoteo